Oh my guys, well, now we are back at it again. The other half is down visiting the family, so I will have not only all weekend to do prep work and have fun getting ready for our next videos, maybe even filming some of them. Oh man, that would be a blessing. But we'll hopefully also be able to get this lovely finished. Today we're going to do these last two panels. Pretty excited. I did a little bit of prep work now. We're going to dive right in, and then I will have a couple other videos after that where we will fill this wonderful thing full of goodies. So let's get started. So the first thing I have is I pre-cut this really thin piece of cardboard, and if you couldn't tell, it's the when you get your journal paper packs, when you get your scrapbook paper packs, this is the cover off of the paper pack, and I just whacked it down to the size I needed, which is, for this specific journal or lap book, 8 inches by 4 3/4. So it fits perfectly, still gives us that cute little border around the edge to where we see this goodness. I also grabbed these two. They were Oxford I can't pronounce that. They had the little tabs on the top because I guess these go in a filing type system. I just cut off the tab off the top and rounded all the corners. I was going to use these to make 2 more little scrap packs, but changed my mind and repurposed them for this journal because they are just the right size. Oh my. So let's get started on my plans. I do need the folding board, so we'll go get that in a moment. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with this one. And my idea is to kind of like, oops, I just dropped it on the floor. Yeah, that's my idea. Drop it on the floor. Okay, so my idea is I want to cut slits across here. Not only will you be able to see the paper on the back that I really, really like, you'll have little slit holes to be able to tuck things into. So first things first, we're going to grab a marker or a pen, and we're going to get a ruler. I love using these rotary rulers or sewing rulers. They're just the amazing perfect size. I think, let's see here, I feel like a 1/2 inch is not enough. I want it to be a little bit more sturdy than that, so I'm gonna go with 3/4 inch. I actually need the ruler to be on a big ruler on my desk. I laid one out on the kitchen table earlier and was using it to prepare for Joanne's class tomorrow. Okay, so obviously this is already a 1/2 inch, and then I'm just adding 1/4 onto that, 1/4 inch, so it's going to be 3/4 inch. I'm just going to go ahead and draw 3/4 inch. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this all the way around so I know my exact border for, because this is kind of like, I want to keep it away from the edge, 3/4 inch, to give it that sturdy feel and be able to see some of the pattern, and of course, you know, have some stitch marks going on. We will be, at least I will be getting this up on the sewing machine. So it's not cleared out, but in essence I finally cleared the sewing or the couch out of the living room, whereas it's stacked up in the corner because it's a sectional, so it breaks up into 2 pieces. Okay, so now I want each slit to be a 1/2 inch. So perfect. Just go up from the bottom, start at the bottom and just go up a 1/2 inch. We're going to draw a line and just keep going till well, we have an 8, so I want to make sure it kind of lines up. So we will have, oh my, I did make this, yeah, so it is. Alrighty here, so we'll start with the 1/4 inch right there. Okay, so it looks like some of my measuring is, well, no, not quite. It's just the way I laid the ruler. All right. So we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, which means it's gonna be a little uneven. So I'm just going to take my pen and mark out the 4-inch mark right exactly in the middle. So 4, because we got 8 by 8, so 4 would be dead center. And we'll start from the middle and work our way out. And I'm gonna kind of show you how I'm gonna start from the center and work my way out. But anyway, so I was saying I stacked up my furniture. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but I haven't thought of it, so you know. Anyway, I stacked up the couch out of the way, and now I got all of my foldable tables sit out in a U shape. Oh my goodness, I have so much space now. It's so amazing. So we're going to kind of use this 1/2 inch here. And of course, we got a 1/4 inch on each side. We can tell by the dots in the middle. So the dots in the middle, we're just going to line them up with the 2 dots that we just drew. So we have a 1/4 inch on each side. Go ahead, so you see there's your dot and there's your dot. We're going to go ahead and just draw our line and do the same thing here. Line up your dot there, although actually, yeah, it lines up perfect. Alright, there's your dot and there's your dot right there. So we lined up both of our dots. Now draw your line. Alright, this is going to be our, actually I'm not sure if this is going to be our gap or that's going to be our, whether this will be solid or cut out yet. We're going to keep drawing now, go 1/4 inch from here now that we have our centerpiece lined up, and just keep going 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch until we reach the end here. And then when we reach the end, then it'll kind of give us an idea of which ones are going to be cut out. So we're just going to take this line for the 1/2 inch and line it up with the one we just drew right on the dot. And of course you can line up these lines right here too. So here and here, this way you know it's level. And just keep on moving up. And obviously you're only going to line up here, this side. It's not going to line up. So just pick one side to line up with. As long as this line is straight, it's not really too big of a deal. Alright. As long as you got your 90-degree angle here matching up. Oh my, I got a little bit of an itchy nose. Just a little bit. I'm never really been allergic to anything, and I know I'm not sick. It's just, I don't know what it is. Every time I sit down to start filming, I get an itchy nose. Okay, visually I feel like that's crooked, and I'm paranoid like that. So let's line it up again. It was a little crooked. Alright. There we are. And our final one. So it looks like we're going to have a bit of a gap from here. It's going to be a little, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Because, you know, maybe you want to put like a, that goes bye-bye. Maybe you want to put like a symbol or like a little label or something right there. That'd be really cool. That'd be really cool. Cool. Yeah, I can't wait till I think the Brooklyn Nine-Nine is coming out with a new season. I used to really keep on top of that stuff, but now I'm so busy with you know, working with you guys, creating tutorials, making journals, that I really don't keep up as much as I used to on which shows are out or whatever. I just pretty much turn on the TV and whatever's on is on. I usually try and pick something I've watched before because it makes really great background noise. And I can look up and know what's going on and still enjoy the story and look back down and still be creative. There's a few episodes of a different couple of series that I really like that I keep meaning to sit down and watch and finish, but I know if I do that I won't get anything done. And so I try to avoid watching them, and every once in a while I'll just be like, all right, you know what, it's me time today, so I'm gonna sit down and pick one and watch one. And then that really works out because then I can get a lot more done. And then of course I can actually enjoy it when I do sit down to watch it. Alrighty, so now we kind of know where we're gonna cut out. And it looks like so I know I'm a little lost. So it looks like this one's gotta go. This one. Was I? Oh, oops. My bad. Okay, so X marks the spot. Alright, so all these gotta go. And they're all even now, so perfect. Alright, I got a razor knife that I really enjoy using. You can also use, I actually like it better, but you can also use a craft knife. I think I paid like $1 or $2 for this at the dollar store. And I try not to use the rotary board on projects like this, and I like just grabbing a regular piece of cardboard. It's pretty chill, pretty easy, you know. That way you don't have to break out the entire cutting board, or if you know you don't have a cutting board, cardboard works great. I just did a boo-boo. Some of you were like, yeah, I cut along the entire side. That's okay though, because we're going to be gluing a paper over the top of this. So technically, if we actually, I have some masking tape here. So don't feel dirt if you cut it up and you aren't supposed to. Masking tape is a wonderful thing. And of course, you know, it gives it that vintage old feel. That, and we're going to be gluing paper over this anyway. Now let's try this again. Alright, just on the X's, guys. Just on the X's. I don't know what it is, I swear. Every time I film, I get an itchy nose. I think it's just because I'm talking to you guys and everything, and then my nose is like, hey you, I want to be itchy right now to drive you insane. Alright, so now we have this wonderful little tabby tucky type deal. I'm going to go ahead and go stick it on the sewing machine. I'm going to sew individually around all of these holes, and then I'm going to sew around the outside as a whole. I will actually, I will set this aside and sew on it when I'm finished and ready to sew on the other one as well. But, of course, these ones, I mean, you can save them if you want. They do kind of have some cool shapes on them. But these ones you definitely want to save because they're the actual scrap paper, and they got some wonderful pretties on them. But I love this now because, you know, it has some wonderful little tucky spots. I actually really like that. It kind of looks like a door to me. Alright, I actually have to go get the folding board for this one. Alright guys, so I got the folding board over here. I kind of had a little bit of an idea. We'll be able to save these for our scrap packs. And if you want to learn how to make the scrap packs, there is a tutorial on my channel. I'll try and remember to leave the link in the description box below, along with all the other links back to the originals for this wonderful lap book. I know that I may not have put them on the channel yet, but I don't have access to a main primary computer, so a lot of the stuff I edit is on my phone. It's not to say that I can't do it, but sometimes it just makes it a little bit more difficult to be able to actually do it properly. So alright, so we're just gonna kind of use this as a sizing tool. I really like the back, so I'm gonna use this one. And what other one are we going to use? I really love the yellow, but I feel like we used so much of it. Alright, what else do we have? We have this one, but we have used a lot of this one already too. Although if I use, yeah, actually I do really like this one. And I like this part. Perfect. So, let's take the ruler. This is 8 inches by 5 inches. So, perfect. Actually, I think we're gonna have to do 4.5, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so we're gonna do, or 4.25. So we're gonna do 8 by 4.25. 2 pieces, 8 by 4.25. So I'm gonna go cut those up on the cutting board. Alright guys, now we got these cut up. Again, they're 8 by 4.25. They're approximately the same size as the other piece that we cut and prepped, which is this one. Now, what we want to do is we need the folding board. Here we are. And we know that 4 is exactly in the middle. So I kind of want to do, I feel like I'll do 3. I'll do number 4. And I'll do the one before number 4. And I'll do the one after number 4. And I probably should have done it on the other side, but that's okay. And I do feel like I want the corner chomped on these. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I'm feeling a corner chomp. So let's go ahead and do the same thing with this one. 4, 1 above 4, and 1 below 4. Alright, now let's go ahead and fold it. There we have it. Alright, so let's take a look and see what we think of these. So here's kind of my concept. So they're gonna sit right here. And I feel like I should possibly, well, I don't really want to do a twirly tie because we already got one here and I don't want them to get tied up together. Although if I move them over here, that would be fine. And then we can put you here. But I feel like all of the stuff on here would get entangled together. Now we gotta get creative, guys. So I do, of course, this that'll be fine. And I want this to be here because it will give it more availability to expand, because if we have a signature in here, this stuff can stay more skinny. You know, if we don't have a signature, we can stuff even more in here. All right, so oh yes, so I think I'm gonna do these like this. I mean, I really like this one, so we can just do it like this. Yes, that'll make these upside down, but that's perfectly okay. So this way, and maybe, yeah, okay. So if they drop, no, I want them this way for a reason. Which means we're gonna have to put you inward, like that. Wait. Oh my goodness, I'm confusing myself. Okay, yes. This is what we want. So we want them both to open up like this and be able to see inside. All right, that is my idea for these. Now, we need our chair. I'll put this folding board over yonder. And we're going to finish these little guys out. So now we need some random paper. So, I kind of want a usual. Okay, so where's our chompy? Here's our chompy. We gotta chomp our corners. I like them chomped too because they won't wear out as bad or catch on anything as bad, I feel like. There we are. And the way I plan on doing this, you kind of won't even have to tie these closed. They're going to be kind of like self-sufficient in that aspect. All right, so of course, you know, we love the yellow, so we are just going to go right ahead and go on with the yellow. So you will open up like this, and I do like this opening up. So I want to cut this one in half. And how long are you? Perfect. 8 1/4. So we'll just go 4 by 4. Perfect. Well, almost 4 by 4. Let's see here. Yeah, 4 and a notch. 4 and 1 notch. I know we're kind of a cheater pumpkin eater, but it works, right? Alrighty. swear I need like a miniature cut board for these smaller projects. I removed the table behind me to make it a little bit easier for certain projects. So on that aspect, I do need to come back in and, you know, add in. I'm gonna do 4 1/4 on this one. So 4 1/4. So I do need to, I want to get more portable, like they have some nice portable collapsible coffee tables at Walmart, and I bought one for the other half's house and it works perfect. So now I want to buy one for here to use in the office. Actually, I want to buy like a couple so I can put them up during video time, so I can just, you know, set out different little tables. So all I gotta do is move my swivel chair, and I got a horseshoe shape going on. And then after I'm done videoing, you know, I can put them away. And the fact that they're portable, so I can adjust and set them up in different ways as needed. Alright, so we're just gonna chomp the bottom of these. Where's our chomper? We put it back. And we ended up not needing the crocodile. No. Oh, my ink isn't linking, so it should be fine. So again, I'm going to use the little small rounded corner. With being the biggest window in the house, it's getting a little warm in here. Just a little warm. Okay. Alright. And then I do want another pocket on the cover of these. And I want it to be a vellum pocket. I know that, yep, and I'm right. I'm gonna have to go get another sheet of vellum because I'm out, and then I'll pre-cut them and then tell you the measurements. Alright guys, so I kind of took this for a little bit of measuring. I did 4 1/4 by 3 inches. So this is going to be on the inside, and then our little vellum one is going to go on the outside. I do feel like I want to do a frame pocket on this, so I am going to go pick out some fabric. So let's just, you know, set these aside, because we want them to kind of tie in with the rest of the journal, and I feel like they need that little frame on the front just to, you know, finish off. Ooh, I really, really like this, and I think it'll tie it in perfect with the other one too, which means this is probably going to be, you know, just the right size. So yeah, I'm gonna go cut this down. Actually, no, we can do it here. We'll just do it right here. Make sure I'm gonna flip this over because it's lighter on the back side. I know it's alcohol. I get all of my boxes recycled from friends and family. I personally do not drink beer. I drink wines and spritzers and lighter stuff like that. So that looks about, yeah, and it's lining up perfectly. So let's go ahead and we'll just cut it right off there. Alright. Perfect. Now we can use the flip side to kind of draw out our squares, and I'm thinking a 1/2 inch or 1/4 or 3/4 of an inch. I think 1/2 inch would be just perfect. All right. So this is why we have our little marker right here. Let's go ahead and line it up. And if you have a hard time seeing, you know, maybe you do need a lighter piece of cardboard. Oh. Okay, this bottom one is a little crooked. You can see it. Yeah, that's much better. Alright, so now obviously we're just going to cut along here. Alright, and let's do the same thing with this one. Alrighty. So as you can kind of tell, you know, we're gonna stick to the lines inside of here and leave the frame intact. I had to switch pens because that one just, I don't know if it's running out or I've used it too much today and it just needs a little time to get a little ink back into it. Alright. You can use your cutting board again, but I feel like this way is just a little bit easier, and you can dictate with more pinpoint accuracy where you want your cuts. And we have a wonderful frame. Oh yes, I love it. What do you guys think? And of course you still got like this cute little piece going on here you can turn into a ephemera or something. And of course, you know, while you're using your knife or your blade and your ruler, remember to keep a good grip on your ruler. Push with your body and make sure it's not like all of your weight, but enough weight to hold it. So make sure it's not going to shift, because obviously you don't want to shift your ruler while you're cutting and cut your thumb off or something. Also, never cut like this. You're destined for failure. Always keep your thumb up on your cutting board, or your cutting ruler, I should say. That really helps to avoid any issues where you're going to accidentally cut yourself. Not to say that it's not going to happen, but it definitely does help to hold the board right and keep you from cutting yourself. So now we have all of these little lovelies. Let's take a look and see what we think. All right, so I think I want the red one with the predominant red to go on this guy. Yeah. Ooh, it goes nicely. And then I want this one to go on you. Oh yeah, I like it. That I feel like if I flip-flop them a little bit. Oh no, this one turns out upside down. So it has to go. It has to kind of match a little bit. Because then that won't be upside down. All right, now let's get some glue. We're going to mount these. I'm not going to mount the top ones yet. We're just going to mount the paper to the vellum because we don't want to have our stitch marks coming through on this back side. So we're just going to mount them direct to the vellum. All right. I do kind of, I gotta figure out this one though. I think this and this are about the same size. So I'm gonna have to, you know, do a little finagling on that one on a personal note. But if you want to avoid that, just sew this before you glue it to that and it'll avoid any problems. And the string will make sure that it has a good hold and will mount in place really well. All right, there we go. Yes, I like it. If you kind of want to do it in two pieces, like I used front back paper, so it's colored on the front and the back. If you want to use paper with white backing and then do all of your sewing and then glue your two white pieces together, that would also alleviate some of the trying to generate different ideas. I really like using the front and back paper for this stuff though, because I feel like when I use it for like journal covers and things like that, that you're kind of wasting part of the pattern. I always feel sad when I do that because I really feel like I could have used both sides to their full potential, and then it makes me sad. So, you know, it just worked out that way, and that's fine. But if I can use both sides, I really do enjoy it. I probably could have used this side, but that's okay because I really love this yellow. That, and I feel like there's so much crazy going on in the journal already. I had to make it simplistic in some places. All right, we're gonna wait on these. You know what? I'm gonna set these. I don't know. I'm just gonna have to sew around this and then mount it, which is okay. That's probably the best bet anyway. Make sure it's on nice and tight. I'm bad at making boo-boos like that. Alright. Last one. Then it's off to the sewing machine. If you have too much glue, just use your finger and smooth it out. It's okay. Okay. I like doing that anyway, so you don't have any like goopiness coming out the edges. I feel like I should have hole punched right here, but I don't have a circle hole punch. That's okay. All right. Now I'm going to go sew a bunch of things together. Now that I can't find the other piece. Oh, there it is, I think. Nope. So I'm going to find that other piece that I'm supposed to be sewing along with these pieces here. So these are what pieces we should have before we hit the sewing machine. And I'll come back and go over what we did on the sewing machine, glue them in, and we will be done for the day. Alright guys, so I kind of want to show you what I'm doing right now because I really didn't want to use glue on this small piece of vellum that's going on the top right here. So I obviously have this one pre-sewed. It's sewed up and ready to go. So what I'm doing directly at the sewing table is I placed it exactly where I want it. And I'm just kind of holding it in place. And then I'm taking my vellum and I'm holding it up to a light source so I can see approximately where it's at and position my vellum where I want it. Then when I have the vellum where I want it, I just remove this piece, lay this down, and sew around the edges. This way there's no glue marks on this specific piece of vellum. I feel like that would make it a little bit more pleasing to the eye than to have some glue spots that end up looking like, if you turn it like this, you can see how it's mounted in some areas and it's not. And I would like it better if I didn't see that on this. So I kind of wanted to explain that a little bit to give you guys some help. That, and when you take and you mount this into place, it's going to cover the border from this, is going to cover up the stitches from this. So that'll really help too. Alright guys, we are about ready to finish up. So let's see some of the pieces we got here. Now I added 2 new pieces to what we have going on because I realized that these little pockets are going to fold down and whatever's in here is going to fall out. So I kind of created these. I just did a little 4-inch across by about 3.5 inch approximately wide. And they're just going to be glued down. As you can see, I just did a stitch line real quick. They're just going to be glued down right over the top right here, so you can lift them up and whatever you put in this little pocket will be held in there. And I just want to take my little corner chomper and just chomp the little corners. There we go. And I did 2 of them, one for each little pocket so it can have a flappy. That one needs re-chomped. Alright, perfect. So let's go ahead and glue all these in place. So let's glue this one down like I was just showing. So I've been going to work a little bit later on Fridays so I can have more time to, you know, get my YouTube videos produced and made up for you guys, and a bit more time for editing. Because as it stood, I didn't really have enough time on Fridays. And for the most part, it works out pretty well. Like, not next week, but the week after, one of my coworkers, out of the blue, just decided to take a vacation. So that one is going to be a little interesting to try and figure out. But I'm probably going to end up just going into work. I might do a smaller tutorial that day. We shall see. I do have a few smaller ones planned coming up. Oh man, I should have used the other side. That's okay. That is okay. Alright, so we got these little guys in place. Now I want to clean up this big bubble. Now, let's try not to do like we did in a previous video. We want to keep the top open. So just with all these strings, we're going to go ahead and grab them by the strings. I'll put all this excess glue on these strings to hold them down real good. And I liked putting these strings right here, right in the middle at the bottom, because it kind of gave me a guide to go with. I'm just going to glue it up there really nicely. You can squeeze this glue into some of these little threads going on here. give it a lot of extra grab going on. Now, not across the top. We're going to leave the top open. All right. Pull your strings down and kind of, you know, do your best to get a hold of it. And let's go ahead and center it. And we can't see any of the stitch lines from any of the other work we've done. So we're going to go ahead and lay it down. Oh yes. I like it. So it's not really a passport. It's just kind of like a little pocket feature going on here. So you open it up, you got a little pocket here. Of course, we got to pinch these down a little bit more so they can get a good grab going. And then open it up. You open that, you got a little pocket there. Probably should have did a fold line. We'll wait until this dries a little bit more to start playing with this too much. I actually want to just kind of sit the ruler on that to hold it down. All right, and let's do the same thing with this one. All right, now I'm going to grab these strings. Get our glue going here. Remember, this is the Franken bottle of glue. Just go pretty well in between here. You can do like I did with the other one, do a big glob right down the middle, or just tinier and do little swivelies. If you do little swivelies, you ain't got to go in there as much with your finger. Maybe to do a little bit of cleanup. Alright. Now this line might affect you tucking things in, but you have lines here too that are going to affect that. So you just got to be careful when you're tucking things in here. Not to tear it, obviously. And you should be careful anyway, because these are just paper-based type products. They're not indestructible. But the wonderful thing is, now you can tuck little goodies in there, or photos and things. I love it. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and set this one here. All right, let's grab our book. And we got some excess glue on our bottle there. Let's see how we sewed all of this down. It came out wonderful, and the back got used up, and it's good and sturdy too, so it's gonna hold up nice and well. Let's get all these strings out of the way and situated. Alrighty. And let's start going to Glue Town. Now we obviously are not gonna glue in the middle here. Those are gonna stay open. We're just gonna glue along the bottom and the sides, and that is it. I thought about adding pockets individually to each one, but I decided that that was just going to make it way too thick, so I kept it pretty simple on this one, and I enjoyed keeping it a little bit more simple, because in one hand, you know, I didn't have to do one video just on this one alone, although I may come back to that idea again later for another project, but it would be one of those, it's probably going to be a one-piece video. All right, and I got the Richards on top, legible just like I wanted, or the Richard. All right, just go ahead and push that down, and I love how you can see everything through these little slits. That's so cool. I love that. I really do enjoy it. Got to save some of that. All right, now let's get these little pockets in here, and the reason why I wanted them to come in like this is because now you have this wonderful pocket here as well. So the little thing itself is just a wonderful pocket, and then of course you open it up and you have more pockets going on. And I had an idea for like a continuation little flip out. I thought that might make it a little too thick. I like this one better, so I want this one on top. I thought that that would make it too thick because of everything that I have going on in here now. So I did not do a third flip out on these because I thought about doing one and then one more, or one and then one that came out downwards, kind of like this. And they'd go like this, or, you know, have it flip open like this and then open like that. So that is an option too if you want to do that. But remember, the more you add, the less space you're going to have for other things as well. All right, let's get this one to Glue Town. He's got to go to Glue Town. Lots and lots of good glue going on here. Oh my, this is going to be... Oh man, this is the final video. You don't even know. This is like the last final piece. Then all I gotta do is decorate it and put a whatchamacallit right there. And I'll probably finish out the scrap pass on my own time. Or maybe I'll do like a little small video for my Instagram. That would be fun, I think. Alright, if you love the strings, be sure and grab them and hold them out of the way pretty decently. You obviously don't want to mount a bunch of strings where they shouldn't be mounted. Then you can't open anything. All right, there's that. And if you want to add another pocket right here, you can. And because the way it's set up and the way I designed it, you can even make that pocket and then glue it down. Like, you can take this, crop the corners, sew around it, and add it. Actually, I think I might do that. So I'm going to do a quick example. I got to go trim it down the size. I'll put it on the sewing machine. So I'm probably going to take a good inch off the bottom. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll take at least an inch off the bottom so that I'll set the pocket about here. And then it'll give it the same gap on the bottom as it does the top. And then I'm also going to crop the corners like I did with these. Here and here. And then I'm going to sew around the edge like I did here. And then I'll come back to you and we'll mount this pocket as well. Alright guys, so I did finish these last few pockets. I have this one here. And this itty bitty guy here. And this one here. Okay, so you can see I got the stitch work going on and all that. So this is what we are going to do. Yes, good. So we can do, I feel like, yeah, there's a lot going on there. So I want this one for here. Yeah, that looks good. Got some extra glue there we gotta clean up. Alright, just add a little bit of glue to my stitch line. It's the one thing I love about making pockets like this is you can always add more pockets. Always, always, always. So that's what makes it so fun. I'll put it right in the middle. And see, if we had hole punched this, we probably wouldn't be adding these other pockets now. And I got a little bit of glue running down the side, so I'm just going to go ahead and go like that. And of course we got this glue stuck to my finger. This last little pocket here, it just doesn't want to cooperate. And some glue here that also does not want to cooperate. There we go. Now we got it. All Alrighty. We got a little bit of glue hanging off the corner there, so I'm just gonna clean it up real quick. Now with these strings, just go ahead and drag it straight down and drop it into place. Found when you got your hands all sticky full of glue, it's a little bit easier to kind of drag it into place and keep the strings out of the way. So now you have a bunch of different pockets here that you can stuff goodies in, and they're not really that thick either, like built out pockets like we did over here. They're more flat, so it saves us a little bit of space too. Alright, and I like this guy. Got a little dot of glue right there. And then we're just gonna glue this up real nice. Alright. We are pretty much putting on the finishing touches of the Lapbook, guys. I'll be building ephemera and stuff, but we really won't be working on the Lapbook anymore. Now, I might do a few videos working out of the Lapbook, because I think that would be really fun. And see if you added that extra. I think it would be cool. But I feel like this would have to be a little bit wider, especially if you want to get that signature going on as well. So let's go ahead and see how everything fits. Oh my goodness, it got a little, oh, that's why it's caught on the button here. Okay, there we go. Oh my, it fits wonderfully. So I'm just gonna go ahead and you can even wrap the strings around back here with as long as we made these. Maybe I'll come in with coffee later and just like spot dye these. That would be fun. Look at that. Oh my, and all these wonderful strings everywhere. You can see our pocket we made in our last video, and you can actually kind of tell that there's a pocket here going on. So let's go ahead and open it up and do a final overview. Oh my. All right. So we got this here. I usually use my card, but I don't know where it went. And just got this nice big pocket here. And of course we got this magnetic one here. Now remember, if you have pacemakers or anything like that, you might want to stay away from the magnets. But these are really high powered, strong magnets. I'm completely in love with this little setup here. And because it's got like the two-fold system, you can just drop it and click it into place. And it'll have like possibly a little gap on the top, but it'll lock into place perfectly, especially since this hangs over a little bit. So it works out wonderful. I love it. Oh my goodness, I'm not kidding. This was my favorite part of the entire thing, is this box. Although I do wish I would have stitched the actual box itself some. It's just in great condition, holding up really well, really sturdy. All right, we got our little pen caddy going on here, pen and pencil holder, and we got our elastics here that we currently have this scrap pack attached to, and this little tabby here that you can hang some things on. It's got a little loop going on here, so if you got like a carabiner style clip, you can hang something on it. I'm gonna go ahead and take this scrap pack out of here so we can get a full view of this. Awesome. And now we just open this up, and we got this little, I need to do a fold line here, but we got this. It'll open up and you can put goodies into that little pocket. So you can put these in there, and they go in there great. And then you have pockets here they're still a little sensitive, so I don't want to put anything in them. And to boot, we have a little view pocket here and a nice deep pocket right here. Same thing with here. You got a nice deep hidey hole pocket here that you can probably legit lose some stuff in there. I mean, that's a pretty big, good sized pocket. Wow, I'm kind of impressed. And again, you got this wonderful pocket here and a glue ball that seems to be following us around. And it opens up, and of course we got another one of these little pockets here. I need to do a fold line there. And then this one's a little bit more dry, so we can test out a pocket here and here. And of course we have this wonderful little folder pocket that opens up, and you got so much space going on there, and it flips out, so it makes it very easy to access. You can just, and of course the ties are right here. Now I'm not gonna lie, because of the way this is set up a little bit, having that scrap pack right here, it did make it a little bit more difficult, not difficult, but of annoyance to close this, because the scrap pack did get jammed under the button. But as long as you know you move it out of the way, it works perfect. And I like the fact that this actually flips over this, so that's nice too. And of course this flips out, and you have all of these wonderful spots to tuck amazing goodies as well. I love the way this one turned out. I am in awe how this turned out, actually. Because I was gonna do just the hole punch and then the slit, but I liked the easily accessibility of these and being able to tuck things in here a lot easier than the other way. So that was amazing. Oh, and I found my card. It's right here. It just slides right in there real nice. And then of course we have a nice huge big pocket here for some paperwork or some notes or some things. So I love this. It came out wonderful. I'm very impressed at how it came out. This last part, I was very curious at how I was going to do it. I literally walked into this one blind today. I'm like, what am I going to do? In 2 seconds before the video, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this. This one, I kind of had an idea of what I was going to do, although it came out a lot more and simpler than I originally anticipated. I did have some time to go over and think about this one before I did put it in. So that just kind of shows you, you know, the difference between 5 minutes off the top of your head to taking a while to debate and coming up with a really great plan and executing it. So this was a really fun journal. This one was 5-minute deal. This was 5-minute deal. This was a little bit more thought out. This was definitely thought out because I'd been wanting to do this for a while. This was last minute, throw it in there deal. I love how these two look side by side. They just look wonderful side by side. And this one was kind of last minute too, especially seeing as this piece is pretty much the same as this one, just shrunk down. So I had so much fun with this journal, and it was really wonderful to have you guys along. This was one of my most popular series to date. Hopefully I can come up with some new ones in the future that you guys will love just as much as you love this one. I will probably be coming out with the green one here soon. I may be more methodical with that one. I may not. We shall see what happens. And who knows, maybe I'll do a few more lap books in the future if you guys would be interested in that. All right, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you later. I probably will not, I thought I was going to, but I probably will not be getting out the zipline video this week, although I do intend on getting a vlog video up on the other channel this week, along with a bunch of other things going on. So stay tuned. I will see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.